back in 2011, I actually applied for my first PNC Business Loan, and I got denied. I also applied in 2015. I was denied also. I applied also around 2020 before COVID started, and I got denied. So this time around, when I was about to apply for my fourth time for a business loan at PNC, I said to myself, I'm going to do things a little differently. I will do research. I'll really understand the ins and outs of the PNC business loan. And because I really wanted to be a pro real fast. And I was frustrated all those years for not being able to be qualified for a business loan at PNC. So I said to myself, I'm going to do things a little differently now. I'll learn everything that there is to be around PNC business loan so I can be approved. And you know what? I got approved for a 6-digit number. And the thing is that when you think about PNC, you have to think about three things. That's what I call the magical trifecta. So you got to have the relationship with PNC. Number two, you got to have the capacity. Like you got to be able to repay whatever loan you get from them, especially if you are trying to have because see, PNC is a very conservative bank. They pay attention a lot to what kind of money goes out to I would say to borrowers. And so they will analyze your DDI, your CUR a lot to see whether or not you are still healthy. Like if you have a good, healthy credit score and credit history. And so I said to myself, so I right off the bat, I called their number, like their business loan number is like 1-800-762-5684. I still remember this number because I have called this number so many times, 1-800-762-5684. And they actually have pretty good hours too in terms of they're open from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. Eastern. So they'll answer all questions that you may have. You want to you can go to a branch also, but you want to have your numbers ready. You want to have the capacity. So first thing you want to have so you want to basically have the relationship. Second, you want to have a great FICO score. And third, you want to have a capacity to repay whatever loan you want to get from PNC. That capacity thing, do not underestimate it. They pay a lot of attention to it, and you'll be surprised. Like it really plays a great role in your ability to be approved. So don't play with it, okay? So the thing is that when I was doing research, and it was kind of funny. Sometimes I was working until midnight, and my wife was asking me, honey, I want you to come in bed, whatever. I said, no, now it's time for me to really focus on this PNC business loan thing because I want to be approved once and for all. So I started actually learning and studying the evaluation criteria that PNC was paying attention to. Now I realized that they might ask for a personal guarantee. I didn't have a problem with that. I said to myself, I know I will have the money to repay the loan anyway. And I didn't want to go the EIN only road, even though because I already have EIN only loans with other institutions. So I wanted to limit my risk also, because when people talk about EIN only, well, if you're accumulating too many loans on that EIN, the EIN will be saturated. So I said, I want to go the regular way. So I will use my social to actually get a loan from PNC, right? And the thing is that, so basically, you got to have, PNC wants you to have a clean personal credit history of 5 or more years, typically with no recent 30-day late payments. So you have to really be very clear about that. And also do not have significant loan balances or open credit accounts. So you don't want to show no evidence of collection accounts, charged up accounts, foreclosures, let's say unsatisfied tax liens, judgments, or lawsuits. So PNC wants you to have a clean slate. If you want to get a loan from them, you got to have a clean slate, and you also got to have a clean business history. So we're talking here about making sure you are having a history of paying financial obligations of all type. Again, here they don't want to see evidence of business bankruptcy, unsatisfied tax liens, judgments, or lawsuits. And don't also have a significant loan balances. So we're talking here about your DTI and CUR being low. And so they want you to be in business for at least 3 years under the same ownership. So same ownership. And in terms of, they want you to have upward or stable trends in revenue, gross profit margins, and net profit margins also. and also want to make sure that historically your operations are profitable. They pay attention a lot to that also. And one thing they also do is that they look at your business debt coverage, debt service coverage. And so what they do is they want to look whether or not your earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, what some people call EBITDA, and it's not like it has to be more than its annual forecasted principal and interest payments. But what I was really surprised about is that PNC, when it comes to business loans, you'll be really surprised. Did you know they pay attention also to DTI, like for real, like for real? Because usually you pay a lot of attention to DTI for smaller loans, for personal loans, but PNC, they really pay attention to the DTI. So make sure that you are really safe on that end, okay? And they also look at your leverage. So my leverage going to this game was a little high anyway. I knew that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I knew it. So what is leverage? So a leverage is your company's proportion of total liabilities to your company's net worth. So stronger companies have more net worth than liabilities, and liabilities typically should not exceed 4 times your net worth. So it's one of those things where PNC pays a lot of attention. So the thing is, all those years, my ass was denied by PNC. Now I understand why. Because when I was doing that research, I realized, okay. This is why they were just denying my ass all those years, because I didn't have strong financial statements or financial ratios, And the thing is that they also want to make sure that you have a clean payment history with PNC. So if your company has borrowed from PNC in the past, make sure that there are no late payments or charged off loans. If you do, you will never get a loan again from PNC. And so the thing is that if your company has a checking account with PNC, they want to make sure you have no overdraft activities, or little, like really little, okay? And so PNC actually will finance any industry. They have no sort of they don't discriminate against any industry as long as the industry is is fit with their financial projections. And they also pay attention a lot to the owner's, I would say, financial net worth, so that you can see that there is a secondary repayment support. And in some cases, they might ask for collateral also, in case you want to beef up your chances of being approved. So think about those things. The thing is, when we talk about PNC Business Loan, one thing I realized is that this is an unsecured business loan. So PNC ain't asking you anything. PNC is relying on I would say, not relying, but the PNC places its hopes on your FICO support, your FICO reports, your credit history in general, just to make sure, that he or she will be paid. Because if you really think about it, PNC actually will approve you for a loan amount that goes from $2,000 to $100,000, like the maximum here. And it's one of those things you got to really have the right. If you have the right relationship, they can approve you for even more. We have seen this in our own experience. They will approve you for even more depending on what kind of relationship you have with them. So when we talk about PNC business loans, we have a simplified application and decisioning process. It's really good. You have easy access to funds, no collateral required. And so the loan amount, as I said, the loan amount goes from about 20 grand to $100,000. So you have, so this is kind of cool, okay? And the APR is kind of decent too. So it's one of those things you got to ask yourself, are you ready? Are you ready for the big enchilada? If you are ready, then it is kind of fine, because PNC wants you to, like the loan term, they want you to level monthly payments with a fixed maturity date up to 5 years. And you got to choose a fixed rate, and monthly payments and interest payments are automatically deducted from your business checking account. So this is something that PNC does because they are trying to cover their asses. I mean, who can blame them? They're a bank, and they are thinking about blaming their asses. So this is really like, when you see the kind of commitment from a bank as giant as PNC, that you need to up your game if you want to be able to compete, because it's just too much. Like the level of precision, the level of I would say detailed orientation is really mind-boggling and very very pleasant to the eyes too. So yeah. So when it comes to PNC, those are things I want you to pay attention to. And when I was doing research, right, I actually spoke to a couple of PNC members, and I went to some networking events where PNC was a prominent sponsor, and I was asking questions around because I wanted to know where I needed to apply successfully for a PNC business loan. I was kind of curious, like I'm like, yeah, I mean, we've been doing this sort of stuff for many years now, but hey, listen, it's always great to learn from someone so everybody's on the same page. And one thing I realized was that basically when we talk about like like if you want to apply for a PNC business loan, you will need a few things. You need to have available any special loan promotion offer code if applicable. You need to know the dollar amount, type of loan you are applying for, borrowing purpose, and collateral information if appropriate. You need information about your business, such as your business name and address, your EIN, and the year established, and also the business tax ID number. So those are things I really want you to really pay attention to and be clear about. And so actually, PNC wants to have information about each business owner. So they want to have information about the name, the address, the home address, the social security number, the government issued photo ID, and also the thing is you may want to have copies of your most recent businesses and personal tax returns and or financial statements to assist with the completion of other tasks. So those are things I want you to think about so that you have a clear idea where your priorities should lie, at least for the next foreseeable future, right? And again, I want to go back to what I said. You can go to a branch. You go to a branch, or if you don't like going to a branch, you can call. But you can only call if you are in 1-800. So they gotta be in the vicinity or the geography. So you can call 1-800-762-5684. Again, the number is 1-800-762-5684. So just give him a call and ask what kind of relief, quote unquote relief, he has for you. Because I actually got an email from I think from one of my friends who said that there is important information about procedures for opening a new account. So we're talking about this is pretty decent. Like, after the COVID thing, the government is taking action now. So we have with PNC, you have access to business term loans. So I love that a lot. You have access to term loans. You have access to secured small business loans. So let's first, one thing I wanted to be clear about was that I said to myself, what is this PNC unsecured small business loan? Let's talk about that, right? I wanted to be clear before I start talking to anybody at PNC, be it a gardener or whatever. So I realized that an unsecured small business loan, here you are getting a loan amount that goes from $20,000 to $100,000. You have a streamlined application and decisioning process. You have no collateral required, and you have easier payment processing. Monthly payments automatically are deducted from your business checking account, your business savings account, not checking account. And no, what am I saying? Business checking account. Yes, that's true. One thing I want to say here is that when we talk about PNC business loans, you have access to a constellation of offers. For example, you have the secured small business loan. Now, I know a lot of folks are kind of cringed when you talk about secured, so anything secure, because they're thinking, oh, that's my money or that's my assets. But they don't know sometimes in a very competitive field, it can give you an advantage. So it's one of those things you have to really pay attention to. So when you think about secure business loan at the PNC, you are looking at the loan amounts that go from $100,000 and up, to more. You have lower interest rates. You have the ability to lower your borrowing needs by actually having constellation of loans, you are able to actually have access to simplified meetings. So this is kind of cool. When we talk about simplified meetings, we're speaking about monthly payments automatically deducted from your business checking accounts. So this is really not working. And so I think that, at least when I was for me, from my experience, I realized that because I knew right off the bat what PNC stood for or even stands for, I could apply for a business loan they're offering, and I'll be approved with no problem. At least that's what I thought back in the days. And then I also explored the small business commercial real estate loan at Navy Fed, and I realized that Navy Fed here is not Navy Fed, PNC. What am I talking about? PNC. And so PNC is really good in terms of the bonus they actually pay month over month, and the consistency really is mind-boggling. And so when you talk about other business loans that PNC is offering, the bank offers a small business commercial real estate loan. So it's a loan that allows you to purchase or refinance owner-occupied commercial properties. So you are so good to actually do that, and you have loan amounts from $100,000 to whatever, because he never really cared about the car itself or whatever. And so this is actually if you go with a small business commercial real estate loan, you are able to cover your borrowing needs. You have a simplified payment. You have a convenient term. So I was like, listen, this is really interesting for me, because I always wanted to have some money to develop the land adjacent to our office. And so right now, the owner is actually a young family who doesn't care about the countryside, they just want to live in big town. So they are willing to get rid of that. So I wanted to actually get that, and I wanted to find a way to also have a secured vehicle finance loan. That's another loan that PNC offers. So you have the small business commercial real estate loan, you have the secured vehicle financial loan. So you actually have you have loan amounts that go from $100,000 to $250,000. So you are able to refinance your loan. You're able to finance your loan, and so that helps you a lot build your credit. So if you know what you do and you do it right, this really helps you a lot. And again, I want to put on the screen the number. So you have 1-800-762-7684. And so this is really cool. So, and they're available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 5. Like you have it's 9 a.m. through 6 p.m. So this is kind of cool. One thing I also realized was that PNC, they have a lot of offers. I mean, obviously, yeah, they are giving you a business loan. That's true. But did you know that loan actually is just only the beginning? You can actually earn more. You can borrow more if you will, but you can actually also work more or you can earn more to make more money. So that will really help you out. And PNC is really at the forefront. And PNC has lots of financing and lending options for small businesses. And basically, they actually give you term loans that provide a specific amount of credit to purchase assets and meet the regulations. And you also have the flexibility of lines of credit to help you prepare for the changing needs of your business. So you have right now, they have the flexibility of lines of credit, credit help, lines of credit help. Those lines of credit help you organize, help you maintain, help you organize everything. So this is something you really need to pay attention to. You also have, you are able to have a small business line of credit that gets streamlined. You're able to think about, I would say here, your SBA loan. So again, it's one of those things where I just we probably will be laughing at some point anyway. But yeah, it's really not really good in certain aspects. For example, you have the SBA loan program. Those that program is designed for you, and it's really this is not really paying attention. One thing I also want to say here is that when you think about the rewards that they're offering you, so you have business loans, of course. You have business lines of credit. PNC is kind of good also when it comes to SBA loans. PNC will give you like business credit cards. PNC will actually give you small business real estate loans. PNC will give you, not give you, will actually provide those loans to you. You have small business vehicle loans. So the bottom line here is that you are able to do a lot of things. You're able to do a lot of things, and it's up to you to really find out what you want to do exactly, and actually just pursue your heart, so that you can get the loan you need and want, and then you're able to control your finances a lot better. Okay, so remember, the numbers are not the moment numbers haven't changed that much. It just depends on the product you want. So for credit cards, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. through 8 p.m. So we have 1866. What am I talking about? 1-855-762-2365. And then you also have the loans and lines of credit, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 9 p.m. The number is 1-800-762-5684. And so remember that you always have the option to contact a PNC banker that will explain everything to you. So you're not confused. You don't have anything that, like, you're not really confused here. And one thing I want to say here is that it really depends on your goals. If you have aggressive goals, you do need to have aggressive tools, an aggressive mentality to get the job done. Like, to get done in one day, a job that would have taken 1,000 days to actually watch. So